Nation education, now we get to make it era. Enter the place, we set the pace, so you come follow in the race and say Abarigo Onireke 106.7.
Nationals FM.
What's a vibration? Ikoni Abalode.
Nationals FM.
Abarigo Onireke 106.7.
Nationals FM.
What's a vibration? Ikoni Abalode.
Nationals FM.
Kifola kokbo shade kishade kokbo chalani komagbo.
Nationals FM.
Titi kola kunleteni yolata fami nanko.
Nationals FM.
For every man, woman, young and old.
Nationals FM.
Sponsorships and advert placement.
Pensioners FM, Agbalode, Rishi to Tokile, Igbalode, Beauty and Fashion Show, to Shara Loge, Beauty Lower Second, Kiwa okay.
Be from, be the best, land the voice, thumb the rest, we the best, we the first live a radio.
Anthony Elanga go, powering into the penalty area, Harvey Barnes denied by Garcia. But just look at this, I mean, Elanga, the jet-heeled Swedish international, just look at him go.
And he's got plenty of green grass to run into. Perfectly weighted into the path of Harvey Barnes.
Newcastle's defence standing firm for the time being. Koundé. Into the back of the net, and we have the deadlock broken, and it's a first ever goal for Barcelona, for Marcus Rashford. Almost three-quarters of the way through the game. They'll afford to concede possession in that sort of area to a man like Rashford in the form that he's in. It's absolutely sensational. Rashford at his brilliant best.
The actions, the scores, the news, the update, and the world of sports on Sports Spectra.
Pensioners 106.7 FM. The voice of liberation.
Balotelli. Aguero.
And as you may have heard in that audio, yes, Marcus Rashford scored twice as Barcelona kicked off their Champions League bid with a 2-1 victory away to Newcastle, while Erling Haaland notched his 50th goal in the competition and Manchester City's win over Napoli. Hello and good morning. Welcome to Sports Spectra, live on Pensioners 106.7 FM, Agbarigo Onireke Ibadan, the voice of liberation and the first Labour radio in the universe. I am Idris Abiola. It's the Friday edition. After a month of clamor, the world's football governing body FIFA has officially opened disciplinary actions against South Africa for fielding an ineligible player, Teboho Mokoena, during the 2026 World Cup qualifying match against Lesotho in March. And again, still tracking the headlines for you this morning, Nigeria has welcomed the Commonwealth Sports Bid Evaluation Committee to Abuja in a major step towards hosting the 2030 Commonwealth Games. How about that? And yes, still talking about event, Nigerian hurdler Ezekiel Nathaniel says qualifying for the men's 400 meters hurdles final at the World Championships in Tokyo is the fulfillment of years of hard work as he prepares to line up alongside the biggest names in the sport today. So let's hit the ground running. If you've got a cushion, please pull it and let's enjoy the ride together. Let's start with this breaking one when Nigeria has indeed welcomed the Commonwealth Sport Bid Evaluation Committee to Abuja, a step towards hosting the 2030 Commonwealth Games. special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, said in a statement he signed yesterday and entitled Nigeria Ready to Host Africa's First Commonwealth Games in 2030. President Tinubu assures President Bola Tinubu, represented by his Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila, formally received the delegation at the Aso Rock Villa in Abuja. Gbajabiamila, along with a strong federal government team of ministers and senior government officials, held strategic talks with the delegation led by Director of Sport Darren Hall and a member of the 2030 Evaluation Committee. Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, made a strong case for Nigeria over India, stressing that Africa has 22 Commonwealth nations and Nigeria, as the continent's giant, deserves the honor. President of Commonwealth Sport Nigeria, Habu Gumel, said the country is ready to host an environmentally sustainable games, and Chairman of the Bid Committee, Menazara Ilo, presented Nigeria's proposal, highlighting key plans and innovations. He reviewed that Nigeria proposes 15 sports, with football introduced to boost excitement, global visibility, and audience engagement. And Director of Games and Assurance, Darren Hall, appreciated President Tinubu and the Nigerian team for their warm welcome. He said the Commonwealth, now comprising 56 nations, aims for greater diversity as he approaches its 100-year milestone. Nigeria and India are the two official bidders for the 2030 Games, with Abuja and Ahmedabad in Gujarat as their proposed host cities. But after a thorough evaluation of both bids, I understand the Commonwealth Games General Assembly will decide the host city in November 2025. Taking you to Tokyo this morning, where Nigerian sprinter Udodi Onwuzurike's hopes of reaching the men's 200 meters final at the World Athletics Championships in Japan came to an end yesterday as the Nigerian sprinter finished 7th in his semi-final. Onwuzurike's time of 20.26 seconds left him adrift of the qualifiers and outside the non-automatic slot, bringing his championships to an early close. Drawn in a loaded heat against defending champion Noah Lyles, Olympic gold medalist Andre De Grasse, and Britain's Zanel Hughes, the 22-year-old Onwuzurike faced one of the most formidable lineups of the night. Lyles on the line his dominance by storming to 19.51 seconds, the fastest ever semi-final performance in championship history, eclipsing his own world lead from the US trials. So Onwuzurike's exit leaves a hodler Ezekiel Nathaniel as Nigeria's sole May finalist in track event, having made history in the 400 meters hurdles. Toby Amotion Silva in the women's 100 meters hurdles remains Nigeria's only medal in Tokyo so far, and the spotlight will now shift fully to Nathaniel's final. So talking about Nathaniel's final today, Ezekiel Nathaniel says qualifying for the men's 400 meters hurdles final at the World Championship is the fulfillment of years of hard work as he prepares to line up alongside the biggest names in the sport today. Nathaniel made history on Wednesday by becoming the first Nigerian man since Henry Amike in 1987 to reach a World Championships final in the event. Nathaniel clocked 47.47 seconds to win the semi-final, the fastest time across all three heats, and just shy of his 47.31 national record set last month. Of course, the Nigerian will start in lane 6, sandwiched between Benjamin and Qatar's Abdurrahman Samba, in what promises to be one of the most competitive finals of the championship. So the 400 meters hurdles final will take place today at 1:15 this afternoon Nigerian time, with Nathaniel aiming to deliver Nigeria's first ever medal in the event and head to Toby Amotion Silva for the women's sprint hurdles. So let's talk football on the show this morning. Then, after months of clamor, I understand that World Football Governing Body FIFA has officially opened disciplinary actions against South Africa for fielding an ineligible player, Teboho Mokoena, during a 2026 World Cup qualifying match. South African outlet SABC Sport report that FIFA has leveled charges against South African Football Association and Mokoena. Bafana are now facing charges after fielding Mokoena, who was ineligible to play in March 2026 World Cup qualifier against Lesotho. Recall that the 28-year-old midfielder had accumulated 2 yellow cards earlier in the qualifiers, first against Benin in November 2023 and then against Zimbabwe in June 2024, which under FIFA rules triggered 1 match ban. So if found guilty, if Mokoena is found guilty, Bafana could be forced to forfeit the result of the match, which would hand Lesotho a 3-0 victory on paper, while other sanctions such as fines or suspensions could also be imposed. So the case has been referred to the FIFA Disciplinary Committee, with Safa and Mukwena given 6 days to submit their response. So let's talk about the Super Eagles proper this morning. But Nigeria has indeed dropped to 45th in the latest FIFA Men's World Ranking released yesterday, and this equaled their lowest position in 6 years during the difficult period for the Super Eagles. The slip of one place from 44th to 45th marks Nigeria's worst ranking since June 2019, when they also sat 45th globally and only just above their low of 46th in February that year. So the Eagles now find themselves outside the worst top 40 and remain 6th in Africa, trailing Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, Algeria, and Cote d'Ivoire. Globally, Spain returned to the summit of the FIFA rankings for the first time since 2014, overtaking Argentina, which dropped to 4th after being leapfrogged by France. So the next FIFA Men's World Ranking will be published on the 23rd of next month, this same year, 2025. Let's go continental, where Rivers United of Port Harcourt, from their camp, I'm reporting this morning, yes, they have arrived in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, ahead of their first leg clash against FC Les Aigles de Congo in the 2025-26 CAF Champions League. The Nigerian contingent, comprising players, coaching staff, and club officials, departed from the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, on Wednesday, and they are set to face the Congolese side at the Stade de Matthias, an 80,000 capacity stadium tomorrow, 20th of September, with kickoff schedule for 3:30 in the afternoon. In a significant development, Rivers United, along with other clubs participating in the early stages of the CAF Champions League, will benefit from CAF's newly introduced financial support scheme, which provides $100,000, approximately 150 million naira, to clubs eliminated in the first or second preliminary rounds. Talking about other fixtures in the Champions League, so Rivers United will be playing just as Remo Stars will be facing Zilamaju on Sunday the 21st of September. And in the CAF Comfort Cup, we understand that Asante Kotoko will be hosting Kwara United on Sunday the 21st of September in Ghana, while Abia Warriors will be in Nigeria to host Joliba on Sunday as well. 4 p.m. is the kickoff. Now the Nigeria Premier Football League Match Day 5, Katsina United will be hosting Wiki Tourists on Sunday. Shooting Stars against Kun Khalifa right here in the Asian City by 4 p.m. Barai against Rivers have been postponed. Bayelsa will host Nasarawa United on Sunday. Al Kaneme Warriors will play Warri Wolves. Eyimba against Bendel Insurance. Rebel Stars against Kano Pillars have been postponed. Kwara United also postponed their game against Plateau United. Niger Tornadoes will welcome Ikorodu City, while Abia Warriors will not face Enugu Rangers because of their continental engagements as well. This morning, Nigeria senior men's basketball team, the Tigers, have dropped to 53rd in the world following the latest rankings released by the global governing body FIBA. The Tigers reached the quarterfinals of the 2025 FIBA Afro Basket Tournament in Angola last month, but they dropped a massive 11 spot from 42nd in March this year to 53rd position in the world in September. Let's see how that will go, but their focus will now shift to the FIBA Men's World Cup qualifying series, which is set to begin in November. Okay, France-based Nigerian table tennis player Taiwo Mati has earned a record to the national team ahead of the 2025 African Championships in Tunisia, where it will team up with top star like Quadri Aruno and 8 other players. The 2025 African Championships will be played in Tunis from the 12th of October to the 19th of the same month. To boxing this morning, two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua is now set to fulfill his long-held dream of fighting in Nigeria, following boxing promoter Ezekiel Adamu's plans to stage the heavyweight superstar's first bout in Africa in early next year. Dr. Adamu hopes to bring the British Nigeria home for what will be a historic homecoming fight in the first quarter of next year. An ambitious promoter who is behind Nigeria's chaos in the ring event in October the 1st in Lagos told newsmen that discussions with Joshua's camp have been overwhelmingly positive. Let's see how that will go. Now to the UEFA Champions League. Marcus Rashford scored twice as Barcelona kicked off the Champions League bid with a 2-1 victory away to Newcastle last night, while Erling Haaland of Manchester City notched and scored his 50th goal in the Champions League in Man City's win over Napoli. Rashford was still looking for his first Barca goals following his July loan move from Manchester United, and he got off the mark by heading in Jules Koundé's cross just before before the hour at St. James's Park. The England international then doubled the Spanish Champions League with a ferocious right foot shot from outside the area high into the top corner midway through the second half. Anthony Gordon, who won back for Newcastle, but Barca, beaten in the semi-finals last season, held on to claim the first 3 points of the campaign. Now, the third consecutive evening of action. And the first round of games in this season's Champions League also saw Eintracht Frankfurt, Sporting Lisbon, and Club Brugge record big wins, while FC Copenhagen held Bayer Leverkusen. Away from that, let's confirm to you before we go that Benfica have appointed Jose Mourinho as a new coach, with the Portuguese returning to work in his homeland 21 years after leaving Porto for Chelsea. Benfica made this known in a statement. Mourinho has signed a contract to run until the end of the 2026-27 season, with an option for either party to end the deal at the end of the current campaign. Let's see that. And finally this morning, Inter Milan and Lionel Messi have agreed to extend the Argentine superstar's contract to remain in Major League Soccer beyond next year's World Cup. That is how far we can go, and we have to appreciate you this morning for joining us. Very many thanks to you all. A special thanks to my producer, Babatunde Tiamiyu. I am Idris Abela. Good morning and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the future. Resonance FM 106.7. Àgbàlódé rédíò.
Òun ló yẹ ká gbọ́ o, òun ló yẹ ká gbọ́.